Welcome back to the channel, everybody. In today's video, we are going to be ranking purchases by financial damage. We love talking about how to make money, how to grow your net worth, how to invest, how to save, how to budget. But every here and there, we need to also look at ways to absolutely destroy your wealth and cause severe damage to your finances. So sit back, relax, like and subscribe, and let's go ahead, let's get into it. To start off the list here, we have paying full price for a bad college degree. Generally, education is a good thing, right? Like, I do agree that having a degree can help a lot of people when it comes to getting a job or getting promoted. The problem is when people take out massive amounts of debt for a degree that has a few things going for it or has a few things going against it. Little demand, low earning potential, and no clear plan attached to actually getting that degree. And I've seen people borrow $50,000, $100,000, even more just to graduate into a job market that doesn't really pay enough to justify the cost. And degrees typically aren't the issue, it's the debt that comes attached to it. So if you're going to spend that kind of money, you should have some type of idea of what the return on investment is actually going to look like before you jump into the degree itself. So for me, this one's pretty simple. You know, a good degree, it can be one of the best investments you ever make when it comes to your career and your income and your earning potential. But a bad degree at full price can easily be a wealth destroyer for a lot of people. Next up is coffee and energy drinks. And the reason I put energy drinks on here is because I feel like everyone hates on coffee drinkers and they're spending too much money. But energy drinkers, those people need to be watched as well because energy drinks are very expensive and not a lot of people give hate to those people when it comes to, managing your finances. But regardless, you hear people say this all the time, like stop buying the coffee and you'll be rich. Stop spending $5 a day, you'll be rich. Meanwhile, they're ignoring the fact that like people have literal $800 car payments. And the reality is, a coffee or an energy drink here and there, that's not what's keeping people broke. Now, if you're spending like $10 to $15 a day on your coffee or your energy drinks, that's a little bit of a different conversation because at that point, you literally could be spending like $1,000 a year on caffeine. But for most people, this isn't the financial killer that a lot of financial influencers make it out to be. Now, could you save more money by making coffee at home? Of course, right? Is cutting out your coffee going to magically make you like rich? Probably not. There's a lot of bigger financial decisions that matter a lot more than just cutting out your $5 coffee or your $5 energy drink. But all in all, I do think over time, this can definitely hurt your finances. Next up is one I guarantee you we've all fallen for, and that's microtransactions. I know you're out there. You've bought Fortnite skins. I know you're out there. I've spent over easily $100 on Rocket League. I've spent over $200 probably on Clash of Clans. It happens, right? It's easy for everyone because it's $5 here, it's $10. There's kind of like the coffee thing, maybe a battle pass, some skins, right? When some loot boxes. Now, if gaming is your hobby and you're spending like a reasonable amount that you can truly afford on something you genuinely enjoy, then I'm okay with that, right? It's not the worst thing in the world. But if you don't know how much money you're actually spending on microtransactions and you know that it's hitting your wallet pretty hard, it's one of those things that you probably should try to like reel that back in. And this is one of those ones that it really depends from person to person, right? Like this could easily be a wealth destroyer for a lot of people, and it could also fall into the barely category for another group of people. So I'm gonna put it right in the hurts category because overall, spending money on gaming microtransactions does hurt your finances because it's just stuff for a video game. Like we don't really need it. Next up is tables at a club, and I genuinely think this is one of the goofiest ways to spend your money. Maybe I just don't get the club scene. I've never really been into it. Maybe, you can tell me I'm wrong in the comments. But essentially, when I think of a club table, you're basically spending hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to sit slightly higher than everyone else who's in the exact same room. And maybe you get like a little rope that marks off your section. For a lot of people, buying club tables are not a flex. Like they're just splitting it across like credit cards. Overall, want to pretend that they're living this lifestyle that they actually can't afford, or, they can get the cool like Snapchat or Instagram story out of it. Once the night is over, you have absolutely nothing to show for it. Like this has zero return on investment because I know people in these club tables are not taking girls home. So this is just straight severe damage to your finances. Don't do this. Next up is the expensive toys. And these are the purchases that like at the end of the day, it sounds awesome. Like we all want expensive toys. Like I would love a boat. Boats are already extremely expensive. And then you have to factor in the fuel costs, the storage costs, cleaning it. And it is so expensive to own a boat that typically it's better to know someone with a boat and enjoy that than actually having your own boat. But a lot of people will buy expensive toys like boats or motorcycles because they love the idea of owning them. them, but not because they're actually going to use them. And people will just let them sit in their garages or let them sit at the boat ramps or boat storage. And then that's where the true financial damage comes from, because you're spending all this money to maintain an expensive toy that you're not actually getting the true use out of. So your money should be going somewhere where it's actually going to get you a higher return on investment instead of wasted away on expensive toys that you don't use. Overall, this is just a wealth destroyer for a lot of people. Next up is unused subscriptions, and this is one of the most common money leaks for people out there. A lot of people really need to go through their subscriptions and audit them, because I can almost guarantee you, like a good majority of the people probably watching this video, you probably have 1 or 2 subscriptions that you're still subscribed to and you don't actually use, and you could easily cancel and free up $10, $20, $30 a month, no problem. I think one of the most common ones too is like a gym membership. Like I know a lot of people who pay over $50 a month for a gym membership and don't actually go to the gym, but they have a gym membership and they've had a gym membership for the past year, 2 years, whatever it might be, but they never go. It's like you could easily just cancel that and free up, half a gas tank every single month if you really wanted to. Now, kind of like the coffee and energy drink thing, is this going to make you rich if you clean up your unused subscriptions? No, of course not. So this over time, this will hurt your finances as well. Next up is designer clothing, and there's typically 2 reasons people get into this. The first reason is because they want to flex to their friends that they own designer clothing. They want to spend $300 on a hoodie to show off, to meet the status quo and kind of fit in with what's cool right now. And then the second, more uncommon reason is that they actually like the clothes, which 95% of the times people don't. And a lot of younger people will spend thousands of dollars on designer clothing, shoes, accessories, just because they want the status that comes with them. And most of the times you're literally paying for the logo. Like I have some decent clothing and I know the really expensive clothing that I have, it's literally just because the logo stamped on it. It does not feel any different. Now I am for investing into high quality clothing that's gonna last you a long time, but typically designer clothing is not that. And the worst part is there's companies like StockX that sell designer clothing and allow people to finance them. So you'll get these younger kids who are using buy now, pay later to afford a hoodie. So if you're spending a decent amount of your money trying to look successful or trying to look like you have money through designer clothes, I can tell you right now that the majority of wealthy people I have met in my entire life look like the most normal people you will ever see, because they don't want people knowing how wealthy they actually are. No one cares what clothes you're wearing. This is just severe financial damage. Next up is food delivery, and this should be no secret to you guys that food delivery is just absolutely out of control when it comes to the price. You order a $15 meal, and then after fees, taxes, tip, service fees, driver fees, everything, every fee in the world you end up paying for. Now that $15 meal probably costs anywhere from $25 to $30. Now look, if you do this occasionally, right, like every maybe once a month, you really don't want to get out of bed and you pull up DoorDash and you order something, it is what it is. But I've seen people literally spend hundreds of dollars a month on food delivery without even realizing it. So if you really want food, just get up and go get it. Like we have cars, we have legs, we can go get our own food. We don't need little dystopian robots running around the city delivering us food. It's just, I don't know where I want to put this, honestly. I think I'm going to put this is severe damage. If you do this too much, this food delivery is absolutely severe damage. Next up is financing travel. And before I get people in the comments saying like, bro doesn't want anyone to have fun, bro doesn't know how to enjoy life, let me say this first. I love travel. I think travel is amazing. If you can afford the trip, genuinely afford it, go enjoy it, spend the money, make the memories, have a great time. But if you're financing the whole trip, right, you're putting the flights, the hotels, the entire vacation on a credit card with high interest debt that you cannot immediately pay off, I would highly second guess you actually going and traveling. Once your vacation is over, it is over. Yes, I know you have pictures and videos and memories to look back on, but if you're going to put yourself thousands of dollars into high consumer debt just to go enjoy a vacation, once again, I would highly, highly recommend pumping the brakes a little bit, because 3 months from now, when you're still paying off that vacation, a lot of people are going to end up regretting it. So overall, once again, if you can truly afford the vacation or the travel, go for it. If you can't, this is going to put you in debt for a very long time and you have no clear timeline of being able to pay this off, this is easily severe damage to your finances. Next up is buying a brand new car. And I know I've talked about this a lot on this channel, but as always, I feel like I need to say this. Anyone in your 20s, you do not need a brand new car. And I know people love to make the argument that, like, oh, new cars are way more reliable. And oh, if I buy a new car, I get this, this, and this, and I get warranty, and I get this. Here's the thing. You don't need a new car. I don't care. I really don't care what you have to say. You don't need a new car. I'm going to keep it that simple. People stretch their budgets way too far when it comes to buying a new car. And at the end of the day, all your car is there for is to get you from point A to point B. You can do that in a $10,000 car, and you can do that in a $2 million car. It really doesn't matter. There's no difference. At the end of the day, they have an engine and they have 4 wheels with 4 tires that makes you go forward. And the worst part is, like, I think the average car payment right now is in the $700 a month, which, if you think about it, if you're in your 20s, if you invest that $700 a month for the next 20 years, that turns into over like $2 million. I don't know the exact math, but it turns to a lot of money. So do you need a new car? Absolutely not. Does anyone care what car you drive? Absolutely not. This is easily a wealth destroyer because so many people fall into this trap and get into this habit of just buying cars they really can't afford and getting locked into these crazy high car payments. Next up is the occasional nice dinner. I pretty much have no problem with this one. You know, money's a tool, and part of the reason we work hard and try to earn money is to go enjoy our life. So going out for a nice dinner with your friends or your family, whatever it might be, every once in a while isn't going to ruin your finances. I'm cool with this. Just don't turn the occasional nice dinner into like 3 times a week, because at that point it is going to become like severe damage to your finances. But occasional nice dinners, I don't have a problem with this. This is cool with me. Next up is luxury apartments, and this is an easy way to lock yourself into way too inexpensive of a lifestyle. Typically what happens is, people will either move because they got a raise or a new job offer, start making a little bit of decent money, and then suddenly they're like, okay, you know what? I need to find the nicest apartment I can in the area I live in. And nowadays, you'll see apartments, like especially where I'm at in Arizona, they have like rooftop pools, they have like golf simulators, like the lobbies look super nice. And the problem with that is at that point, you're not just paying for the area you live in, right? You're paying for all those premium amenities that actually come with the apartment that 95% of the time you're gonna stop caring about after a few months of living there. So a lot of people get into this trap where they spend an extra $500, maybe $1,000 or even more per month just to live somewhere that looks impressive or has more premium amenities, and that's money that could go towards investing or saving, paying off debt, etc. So typically a luxury apartment is not a necessity. I would try to stay away from these as much as possible. It is kind of hard because it seems like every apartment that gets built nowadays is a quote-unquote luxury apartment, so they can charge more for it. But overall, this is easily a wealth destroyer. Next up is hobbies. Now here's the thing with hobbies, because they can go one of 2 ways. I think everyone, before starting a hobby, should find the cheapest way to actually try and enjoy it and see if they like it. Because there is a big trap when it comes to hobbies, and what happens is people see what it is, they want to enjoy it, and they spend way too much money trying to enjoy it. For example, I like golfing. Golfing is an extremely expensive hobby. However, there's very cheap ways to get into it. So when I first started getting into golfing, what I did was I went on Facebook Marketplace, I went to my local golf store, I found all secondhand equipment, I went to the cheapest golf course I could, I bought the cheapest golf balls I could. But on the flip side, you'll get people who want to get into golfing, so they'll instantly they'll buy like a $2,000 golf set, they'll buy Titleist Pro V1s, they'll go to the nicest golf course where they're paying over $100 a tee time, and then they end up broke. They hate golfing, they realize it's not for them, and now they have over $3,000 in golf equipment just laying around. And that goes for every hobby. So if you're going to enjoy hobbies, which I think is a natural part of life, find the cheapest way to get into it. So overall, I'm neutral on this, but just be careful when getting into hobbies. Next up on the list is too much house. For a lot of people, you don't need 5,000 square feet, you don't need 4,000 square feet. A lot of people can't even afford a house nowadays, if we're being honest. But what happens is you get people who are making decent money, they start looking at houses, and they just get way too much house that they actually don't need. And people get into this mindset where, because I can almost afford the monthly payment, I'm going to be living there the rest of my life or for a very long time, I want the extra space. They rope themselves into this really high mortgage. And in my opinion, a house or where you live should give you the ultimate form of stability. Plus, if you have too much house, you're going to have to fix everything that goes wrong with that house. So if there's stuff that's happening in bedrooms you don't use or in areas you don't use, it's kind of just throwing money away at that point. Get a house that's reasonable, that's comfortable, but not too much, because if you do, this will easily be a wealth destroyer. Next up is legit certificates that you can actually use towards your job or increasing your income, right? This is one of the few purchases that can literally pay for itself. If a certification helps you get a better job, get promoted, switch careers, or just develop new skills that make you more valuable as an employee, I think it's absolutely worth it. So if there's a certification out there that you've been wanting to try and it's relatively affordable and you know you can add it to your resume or it's going to build your skills in one way or another, I say you absolutely do it. And for me, I have no problem with spending your money on this. And lastly, on the list here is expensive weddings. And I get it. We're in the day and age of social media. Everyone wants to show off every single thing they do. And this one might be controversial, but I think a lot of people just absolutely lose their minds when it comes to weddings. Like somehow for two people to propose their love together, it turns into a $50,000, $100,000 event in one single day. I really can't wrap my head around that. A lot of people will go into debt, they'll drain their savings, and they'll delay major financial goals just to throw a big wedding. And if you guys didn't know this, the biggest cause of divorce, I don't know if it's just in America or worldwide, but the biggest cause of divorce is finances. So if you're starting off your marriage extremely in debt because of the wedding, more than likely you guys are going to have a lot of arguments about your finances. But just don't sacrifice years of financial progress in one day just to show everyone how much you guys love each other. So this is easily severe. I almost want to put it here. I'm going to put it in the middle somewhere. This is severe damage or easily a wealth destroyer in my opinion. So that is my tier list for ranking purchases based off financial damage. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys have fallen into, what you agree with, what you disagree with. And as always, I appreciate you guys for watching this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.